Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bunny Cakes and welcome to my channel for the first time if you're new here. And today I am going to be doing a book haul. This isn't actually the video I had intended to record. I actually intended to record a video yesterday and I just didn't feel like it. I ended up reading. And today I didn't feel like doing the book tag video that I wanted to do, so I decided I've bought a bunch of books lately. Let me go ahead and do a book haul. So I'm going to start with the physical copies that I have, and then I will move on to the digital copies of books that I've purchased recently. So I finally went ahead. I've told this story before. Oh, there's a piece of fluff on this book. Back for a readathon last month, the name of which is escaping me. The stay home reading rush, that's what it was. I wanted to read Flowers for Algernon, so I told the story about how I tore my house apart looking for a physical copy of Flowers for Algernon that I knew that I bought, that my mother-in-law knows that I bought, and yet does not exist in my house. I knew I bought a copy of this book. I knew it was on my bookshelf, and I knew I bought it from Amazon. But when I went and looked on Amazon, I had the ebook copy. I don't know what happened with that, but I decided to reassert my own timeline, and so I bought Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. This is one of my favorite books of all time. So the synopsis for this is: Charlie Gordon is about to embark upon an unprecedented journey. Born with an unusually low IQ, he has been chosen as the perfect subject for an experimental surgery that researchers hope will increase his intelligence, a procedure that has already been highly successful when tested on a lab mouse named Algernon. As the treatment takes effect, Charlie's intelligence expands until it surpasses that of the doctors who engineered his metamorphosis. The experiment appears to be a scientific breakthrough of paramount importance until Algernon suddenly deteriorates. Will the same thing happen to Charlie? This book is so bittersweet. It is so amazing to read the story. It's written as journal entries by Charlie. And so you see his entire journey from beginning to end. And because it's written like it's his journal of the experience, you see him go from being somebody who has a very low IQ, very low intelligence. He's very much, some, uh, he's not as mentally advanced as somebody for his age would be. There is a hair on my face. Um, anyway, you see his writing develop from very childlike to very, very advanced, and it is one of my favorite books of all time. I read this, my very first experience with this book was when I was in fifth or sixth grade in an English class. We read excerpts of it and I loved it. And I remember when we read this, like every kid in the class at the end of it was crying, from the snooty kids to the poor kids to the bullies. Everybody was sad, the teacher, everything. We were all bittersweet. Ruined gym class, which was the next period. But it's one of my favorite books of all time, and whenever I have those moments where I need to get out an emotion, like a sad emotion, and I just can't, this book will make me ugly cry when I need to. This is a book that's definitely going to require about 6.5 boxes of tissues, probably more. If you really get emotional when you're reading, then you should just go to the Walmart and clear the tissue shelf out because you're going to need it. Okay, so the next book I got is and isn't a book. This is it's called Find Your Voice: A Guided Journal for Writing Your Truth. It's by Angie Thomas. So this is really, really cool. It's got a bunch of writing prompts in it to help you get in tune with your inner writer. I picked this up at random at Walmart one day because my fiance wants to be a writer, and sometimes I think I want to be a writer too. Sometimes I feel like I've got a story that wants to get out, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. So I bought this book to see if it'll help either one of us. So I'll let you guys know how that works. I do love Angie Thomas's writing, for, I just lost the name of that book. The Hate You Give. That's the one I've read. And then On the Come Up, which is on my TBR. I'm going to get to it eventually. So then, I'm going to leave this book for the last. I have a story about that too. Okay, so the next book I got, I actually just got this in the mail today. Well, today for me. Technically yesterday for the rest of you. I got Where the Crawdads Sing. The Crawdads Sing. I got my S in the wrong spot there. By Delia Owens. So I have heard people talking about this book. I have seen it everywhere. And its synopsis is, for years, rumors of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town on the North Carolina coast. In late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, and the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl. But Kaya is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be touched and loved. When two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kaya opens herself to a new life, until the unthinkable happens. Where the Crawdads Sing is at once an exquisite ode to the natural world, a heartbreaking coming-of-age story, and a surprising tale of possible murder. Owens reminds us that we are forever shaped by the children we once were, and that we are all subject to the beautiful and violent secrets that nature keeps. Um, I've seen this book everywhere. Um, I've heard, mostly Peter Mon compare it. I believe he said it very much put him in the feeling of, um, sorry, book by Harper Owens. Um, got Boo Radley in it. I have no memory today. Just a second. We're gonna use the Google because I have no memory. So Peter, if you are, not Harper Owen, Harper Lee, if you're watching this video, you're not the only one with memory problems lately. To Kill a Mockingbird. There we go. That used to be that's his favorite book, and he said that this book might, supplant that as his favorite book. So that made me want to read it because I like the book To Kill a Mockingbird. I actually may reread that because it's making me want to. So I decided I needed to read that, because it's a book that I looked at and I considered buying. It's not my usual genre though, so I kept not buying it, but because I've heard such good reviews of it, and because I tend to like a lot of the same books Peter Mon does, I'm going to go ahead and read it. Now, the next physical copy, and the last physical copy I got, was Stephen King's If It Bleeds. I love the cover of this book. And I love, let me move it closer so you can see. The cat's nose is a rat, which is creepy. When I very first got it, I was like, oh, it's cute. It's got a picture of my cat on it. And then I saw the rat face. I was like, oh, no, that's gross. But I like it. And I love that it's kind of metallic sheen. Catch it in the ring light so you can see it like that. And so this is, a couple of novellas. Well, not a couple. It's 5. There's, Mr. Harrington's Phone, The Life of Chuck, If It Bleeds, Rat. Oh, and it's 4. And there's an author note. So if you watch my channel, you know that I'm hardcore in love with Stephen King books. I'm collecting them. I'm trying to read everything. He's making it hard for me because he keeps publishing stuff. I mean, I don't want him to stop, but because he's published like 9 billion books and short stories and novellas, it's something that's hard to keep up with sometimes. So this is one that I'm going to be reading very, very soon. And I am looking so forward to it. There will totally be a review for this very, very soon. It's not the book I'm currently reading, but it is very close to being next up on my list. Okay, so now we'll move on to my digital books. So I'm going to also confess to something. I was caught in a fib by somebody who watches my channel, primarily my pygmy. This Kindle is not my Kindle. This is her Kindle. The last time it was on my channel, I said it was my Kindle. Because I have a Kindle, I just, that day it wasn't charged, and this day it's also not charged. And hers actually isn't technically charged, that's why you see it plugged in here. But it's charged enough that I can use it for my purposes. Um, and with my new lighting, I actually tested this out, and you can see the picture for this, for the titles now, so I don't have to edit them in. So the first book that I bought recently, the next ebook that I bought, was Now, Then, and Every When by Risa Walker. It's a Chronos Origins book 1. Here's the cover. There we go. So this one was one of the Kindle first reads that I got from Amazon. So it's set in 2136. And the main character is Madison Grace, who uncovers a key to the origins of Chronos, a time travel agency with ties to her family's mysterious past. Just as she's starting to jump through history, she returns to her timeline to find millions of lives erased. And only the people inside her house realize anything has changed. In 2304, Chronos historian Tyson Reyes is assigned to observe the crucial events that played out in America's civil rights movement. But a massive time shift occurs while he's in 1965, and suddenly the history he sees isn't the history he knows. As Maddie's and Tyson's journeys collide, they must prevent the past from being erased forever, but strange forces are at work. Are Maddie and Tyson in control, or are they merely pawns in someone else's game? So this one sounded really cool to me, so it's one of the ones that I picked. For some reason, this month it let me pick 2 of the first reads, so I ended up picking 2. The next one that I got was Wall of Silence by Tracy Buchanan. Oh, and it's not on the cover. Let me drag it over to the cover so you can actually see the cover. There we go. Here's the cover. Nice little woodsy moment there. Oh, there we go. The angling is weird on this. Let me uncharge it. It's enough that it won't close out on me. Okay, so this one's synopsis is Melissa Byatt's life in Forest Grove seems as perfect as can be. A doting husband, 3 loving children, and a beautiful house in a close-knit community, but appearances can be deceiving. One evening, Melissa arrives home to the unimaginable. Her husband lies stabbed on the kitchen floor, their children calmly standing around him. With horror, she realizes that one of them is to blame. But which one, and why would they attack their own father? Her loyalty's torn. In a split second, she decides to protect her children at all costs, even if that means lying to the police. But when someone in the neighborhood claims to know more than they should, Melissa discovers that some secrets are beyond her control. Can she find out the truth of what happened before the rumors spread? And can the family unite to escape the spotlight of scandal, or are none of them as innocent as Melissa insists? Okay, so this one really had me intrigued. So totally looking forward to reading that at some point soon, very soon, I'm hoping. I have a very ambitious TBR for this month that's probably going to stretch quite far into the next couple of months. So we're hoping to get there. All right, and then the next one that I got, oh, I don't have it pulled up for preparation. So the next one that I got was Hidden Bodies. So if you've been watching my channel, you know not long ago I read the first book in this series, You, and I'm trying to read both books before I watch the TV show. I'm actually thinking this actor looks really good for the character Joe. Um, this is by Caroline Kepnes. It's the sequel to You, and I really, after I realized that the reason I hated the first couple chapters of You was because I actually hated Joe. Uh, I I really fell in love with the book, and I'm so excited to read this book moving forward. That I bought it instead of waiting for it to become available in my e-library. um, I just could not wait. All right, so the next book that I purchased was, oh, hold on. My Kindle's not moving as fast as I'd like it to. Well, Pygmy's Kindle is not. The next book that I bought was The Odd Sisters by Serena Valentino. And it's also not locked to its cover like I thought I had prepared for it. So this one I really like. It's got the poison apple with the skull and the poison on it. Um, so this is part of her Disney Villains series. Um, it's not numbered like the rest of them, so it is in publishing the next book, but I think it might be meant to be read as a standalone as well, but not really because you get a lot of the beginning of the story of the Odd Sisters in the previous books in the series. So this one, its synopsis is throughout the villain series, the Odd Sisters have meddled in the lives of the Wicked Queen, the Beast, Ursula, Maleficent, and Mother Gothel, changing the course of fate for the greatest villains ever known. Now it's time for their reckoning. This latest novel by the author of the wildly popular Villain series goes deeper into the lives of the twisted, diabolical Odd Sisters, finally revealing the dark truth about who they are and where they're from. The Odd Sisters will appeal to fans who can't get enough of the mischievous sisters, as well as draw new readers to Serena Valentino's darkly fascinating take on Disney villains. And I love this series because you get the backstories. You get to see the characters, the villains before they were villains, and see that they're just as sympathetic in the beginning as the main characters, but through twists in their lives, mostly related to the Odd Sisters in these cases, um, they they just don't work out to be the good guys. Now the next one I bought is actually the next book in the series. It's Evil Thing Volume 7. This is a pre-order, so I don't have a picture of it. I'll edit it in like right there or something if I remember. Um so this one is called Evil Thing. It is based on Cruella de Vil's backstory, and its synopsis is really short. The darkly captivating seventh novel in the popular series, a villain series, follows the rise and fall of the deranged and glamorous fan favorite Cruella de Vil. If it doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. Um, I am so looking forward to this because Cruella isn't a villain that I really thought about getting the backstory for, but she's actually the most human of the villains, so it's going to be really interesting to see who she was before she was this crazy, depraved individual. And I'm hoping that I love it just as much as I fell in love with Gothel in the previous book that I read. Now I'm going to read The Odd Sisters first because it comes next in the series, and also I won't get Evil Thing officially until July 7th, so I'm going to have to wait for it anyway. All right, now the last, or I've got two more books actually that I purchased. So the next one that I purchased was Dear Dawn. It's um it's a book about Eileen Wuornos. The full title is Dear Dawn, Eileen Wuornos in Her Own Words. And I swear I was prepared for this when I set this up, but my Kindle went to sleep and now it kicked everybody out of their title pages. So there you see Eileen Wuornos. That's actually her, not Charlize Theron dressed as her. Um, so this book is it's letters between Eileen and her friend Dawn. So between 1989 and 1990, Eileen Wuornos was a hitchhiking prostitute who shot and killed and robbed seven men in Florida. She was arrested in 91 and she was condemned to death on six separate counts and executed in 2002. She was an abused runaway, and this it's an autobiography that was effectively culled from her 10-year death row correspondence with her childhood friend Dawn Botkins. Um, it's authorized to be published by her, and it was edited under the guidance of Dawn. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm reading this as part of the Summer of Serial Killers and the Month of Eileen Warnos for Peter Mon's A True Crime Book Club, period. um, and I'm looking forward to this and reading the other book of the month for the book club. And I actually managed to find this really cheap on Amazon. I'm noticing this really cool thing that's happening with Amazon occasionally. I'll go and look at a book and I'll be like, I'm going to buy it, but not right now. I'm going to buy it, but not right now. And I'll keep going back and forth. And then eventually one day I'll go to it and the price has dropped like significantly. So I ended up, this book was normally priced $17.95, and right now it's on Amazon for $1.99. Totally not sponsored. It's just a really good deal. And I actually got a similar really good deal for the next and final book that I am going to talk about in this massive book haul. Um, and it is, we're doing the cover thing again. Bear with me. Okay. So it is The Eye of the World, The Wheel of Time Book 1 by Robert Jordan. So let me make that bigger so you can see it. See, really pretty book cover. So this is a book. It's a book series that there's a lot of them. I think there's like 14 or 15. Let me check. Yeah, there are 14 books in this series. It was brought to my attention by Witch Kitty Reads. Um, I found her on Twitter. I will link her channel down below, and also the Discord. She decided she's getting into the books, and she decided to create a read along and a Discord that goes with it. And so everybody, whether you've read the books already or whether you're reading them for the first time, like me and Witch Kitty Reads and several of the others, we're all getting together and starting at the end of this month, and the beginning, going into the beginning of next month, we're all going to get together and read and discuss and have this big old read along kind of a book club sort of thing. And the Discord over there is really, really fun. There's a lot of good people, a lot of booktubers, a lot of not booktubers, and just a bunch of book nerds that are really excited to either read this for the first time or reread it or just find a group of people to discuss the book about. So, or book with. Um, so this synopsis is: the wheel of time turns and ages come and go, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth returns again. In the third age, an age of prophecy, the world and time themselves hang in the balance. What was, what will be, and what is may yet fall under the shadow. When the Two Rivers is attacked by Trollocs, a savage tribe of half men, half beasts, five villagers flee that night into a world they barely imagined, with new dangers waiting in the shadows and in the light. Um, so it actually looks like this is going to be turned into a TV series soon. Um, uh, by Sony. It's going to produce it. I don't know when because it's just mentioned on the Amazon thing briefly here, but it looks like they're going to be turning it into a TV series hopefully soon. That's cool. Um, but this it's a fantasy style book. That's the genre it's in. It's a PBS Great American Read Selection, and it came out in 1990. That's when the series started. That's why there's so many books. I bought the first book. This one was really cool. It's another one where when I very first looked at it, it was $10.99, and I was like, you know what? I'll just wait for it to come available in the library. And then a couple of days later, I looked at it and I got it for like $2.99. It's back to $10.99, so it must have been a temporary sale. But I'm really looking forward to reading this, and also the experience of reading it with a group of people. Um, I get this experience with like my true crime because of Peter's book club, but I've never really had it with a series like this with a group of intermixed fans with people who aren't new to the series and people are new to the series, and it's really a cool experience. Again, I will link which kitties which kitten yeah, which kitten reads. I will link her channel down below with a correct name. And I will also link the Discord if you're interested in this book, and you're interested in the read along. Definitely join the Discord. Woo, I can speak words. Um, and come participate with us. Even though the read along isn't started yet, we are all active over there. In fact, in order to film this video, I had to put my phone on airplane mode because we're talking over there so much that it kept buzzing, and I didn't want that to be buzzing in the background of my recording. Um, but that is the end of this massive book haul. I probably should have broken it up into two, but I didn't think about it. Until I realized that this video was 26 minutes long right now. Okay, so I'll make this quick and sweet. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, if you like my hit the like button down below. If you like my content, I do post near daily videos, so hit that subscribe button and hit that notifications button so that you're notified of my future videos every single day or nearly every single day. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.